If you're a British expat, I want you to just think about this for a moment. So you move abroad in your 30s or your 40s, you assume your UK pension will just sort itself out. Then years later, you finally check your state pension forecast. And that's when you realise it's a lot lower than you expected. This happens more often than a lot of people realise. And there's a reason that I'm talking about this right now. Because there's a national insurance rule changing in April, and for some expats, this change could make fixing this problem much more expensive, or in some cases, even impossible. In this video, I'll explain what's going on, who it applies to, and how to decide whether you should be doing anything about it. So, what does national insurance have to do with your pension? So your UK state pension is based on your national insurance record. Each tax year you either pay national insurance or receive credits, and that's what gives you a qualifying year. Under the current system, you need at least 10 years, qualifying years, to receive any state pension benefit at all, and 35 qualifying years in order to receive the full amount. When you live and work in the UK, this usually just takes care of itself through your employer. The problem starts when you move overseas. For most people, national insurance stops automatically, and unless you actively do something about it, each year abroad becomes a gap on your record. One gap might not seem like a big deal, but several gaps absolutely can be. Enough gaps and your state pension entitlement is reduced, and in some cases, people discover much later in life that they don't qualify at all. At the time of writing, the full state pension income is £230.25 a week. This increases in line with the triple lock each April, and that's why it's such a valuable benefit. National insurance contributions make sure you are receiving the full entitlement possible. What does backpaying national insurance mean? This is where voluntary national insurance contributions come in. Voluntary contributions is essentially backpaying the missing years on your record so that they still count as qualifying years. Instead of losing those years forever, you can usually go back and pay for them. In most cases, you can go back and fill gaps for up to 6 previous tax years. Each year you successfully backpay then becomes a qualifying year. That qualifying year is what counts towards your state pension benefit. So it's not about guessing or hoping. Either a year increases your pension entitlement or it doesn't. This is why checking before paying is essential. Class 2 versus Class 3. This is the big difference. This is where things get important for expats. Historically, many expats were able to backpay using Class 2 national insurance. Class 2 is relatively cheap. It costs only a few pounds a week. If you qualified, it was often one of the best value pension benefit top-ups available. The alternative is Class 3 national insurance. Class 3 does exactly the same job, same qualifying year, same pension benefit, but it's much more expensive. So, same pension benefit, but a higher price tag. Who wants that? So for years, the key question for expats has been, can you pay Class 2 or are you stuck with Class 3? And that brings us to the change coming in April. What's changing in April and why does it matter? So from April, Class 2 voluntary national insurance for overseas periods is being removed. That means the cheaper option that many expats have relied on is going away. It's no more. For most expats, Class 3 is going to be the only option left in the future. So you're paying more for the exact same pension benefit. On top of that, the eligibility rules are tightening. Going forward, you're generally going to need a stronger UK connection, So this could be a minimum number of years living in the UK or paying national insurance before you left to even be allowed to make voluntary contributions. So for some people, it's not just about a higher price tag, it's about losing the ability to back pay altogether. That's why timing matters. Just because you're eligible now, it doesn't mean you will be in the future. How to decide if this applies to you. This doesn't mean everyone should rush out and pay. Before paying anything, there are 3 sensible checks you should do. So first of all, check your national insurance record and state pension forecast. This is through the HMRC website. Secondly, look at which years are missing and whether paying for them actually increases your entitlement. Not every gap is worth filling. Third, confirm which class of national insurance you're eligible to pay and when. This isn't about paying for every missing year, it's about paying for the right years to make sure you are actually increasing your entitlement. I get it, this isn't exciting, it's not glamorous. Let's be real, this is boring life admin. But for expats, it can make a very real difference to your long-term income. If you've lived abroad and haven't checked your NI record recently, this is worth putting on your to-do list before April. Future you will be glad you did this. If you have any queries or you would like some help, just get in touch. Always happy to help.